This is the 100K video. Oh my god, my laptop's dying already. So we're here today because The Secret Between Us is about to hit 100K. And like, I think that's just crazy. Just because like I wrote that book on a complete whim. Like, I didn't think anyone would see it. I didn't write it for anybody. I didn't really think this is going to be the book. But I guess nobody ever really thinks like that's going to be the book. The books I was making were kind of just touching 1K. Ooh, that's hot. And just staying there. So yeah, so I'm going to answer you guys' questions. And drank some coffee to start my day because I just woke up. And yeah, let's get through this. How do you use Wattpad? Okay, so I use Wattpad in two different ways. I use it on my laptop, obviously, to write things, to write all of my writing. I can't do it on my phone. I've tried that shit. I can't. I really can't. Also, I'm sorry if I swear, but swearing is kind of like my second nature. I really can't help it, and I apologize. I will try not to swear as much as I usually do in this video. I use Wattpad, of course, all of my writing and analytics when I'm looking at like who's reading my book from what country. That's all done on my laptop. And then I have the app version on my phone. Ooh, I can't even show you my wallpaper. Hold up. I try to keep a private life. Like, I don't really tell you guys where exactly I'm at. But yeah, as far as if the brightness, yeah. You see how those notifications from Wattpad? Those are all your votes. Every time somebody votes for my book, I get a notification. Every time somebody comments on a book, I get a notification. And like, I go through and like sometimes I'll look at the vote, who voted, and I'll check out like their, I want to say channel, but I know it's not YouTube, but like their page or whatever, and see if they've got any good books, see how popular they are, and if they're like not popular, I'll definitely check out their stuff to see if there's like any potential. Because I remember when I wasn't popular, my very first book was JP, and I always was like, oh, is somebody gonna read my book? But yeah, I always try to reach out and go, and when I have time at least, and read like the smaller people's books, just to give them views. I don't really comment as much as I used to because I just don't have time. Because I do really long, in-depth comments and stuff, so I'm gonna answer you guys' questions on The Secret Between Us. Some of these are random. One question was, how did you come up with this beautiful story / trilogy? I came up with it when it was like really random. Like, and I tell you, this story was written on a whim. It really was. Sometimes I wait before I release stories. Like, I wait for an inspiration or something, and it'll just come to me, kind of. Like, I had been planning this Mpreg novel, but I didn't know which character I wanted to do it to. Like, I was like, are they gonna be sweet? Like, oh shit. Are they gonna be sweet like Mika? Because I just finished his parents' book where they gave birth to him. And that's cool and all, but I wanted to do something different. Like, I was like, what if we had a pregnant guy who like really cares about his baby and all, has a secret daddy, and just like is really like a sarcastic shithead. And so that's when I went off with. And I was just waiting, I had started writing like little rough drafts, because sometimes when I have a book, like I just write like little drafts here on the side. And the drafts were more like, as you guys saw if you read to the end, and I put a little bit of that draft in there. It was at first titled like Unspeakable, because, Maddie couldn't speak about the dad. And then it was titled The Blue Hues Between Us, because it was always Maddie and Wesley. But like Wesley was in London and Maddie was over here. Thomas was never supposed to be a thing. Like Thomas was not in the script at all. Like it was just Maddie versus Wesley, not really them together. Like Wesley was mad because he was kept out of it, and Maddie really didn't want anything to do with little Jadine. Yeah, glad I didn't go with that one because I love Thomas. And Thomas was really. Sometimes when I read these books, oh shit! I just realized I'm not even wearing my wedding ring. I should probably go get that. Sometimes when I write these books, the characters kind of do their own thing. And with this book, that was really true. Like, the characters were just kind of... Like, I had, like... When I write a book, I have the beginning and the end. And the beginning was Maddie not really finding out he's pregnant, being a few months in, to where he's, like, just about to start showing, especially with him being so famous. And the end of Jadine being born. You just got to get to that part. So... Maddie was really just like writing it himself. Like I love when I get to a point where I have so much inspiration where just typing on the keys kind of just feels like I'm just typing on a piano, because it just goes straight from head to keys, and that's really how I write. Yeah, that book really just wrote itself. Like I was working as a barista, and I was going through kind of really a hard patch, I guess you could say. I was in the shower and I was just thinking like of the Maddie, when Maddie was in the shower saying like when he was pregnant, and he was just thinking, he was like telling the baby to himself. He was like talking to himself and slash the baby, Jadine. And he was telling her like, hey, I know you're making yourself in there, but if you look anything like your father, like that's the highest form of betrayal. And, like, I just thought of that line, and I just started dying. And that's when I knew, like, I had to bring it back, and I had to do something with that. And you don't know who the father is. And, like, people, it gets me to this day when people will comment saying, like, I'm so confused, who's the dad? You're not supposed... And I'm just like, you're not supposed to know who the dad is until, like, the end. How did Thomas come into the picture? Thomas kind of came into the picture... when I realized yeah, I really wanted to do like a polyamorous couple, and then I realized there's so many different forms of like polyamorous. Like there's one where you have like a main couple where you're like dedicated to that person, and then you just have like a bunch of sides or whatever, and both of you, and then but the sides never meet the actual couple unless like the very rare occasion the actual like couple, other whatever, anyway. And then there's one where like everybody loves each other equally, and I decided to do that one. And I thought where it was like it would be really interesting, and I think the dynamic is where Thomas is like the lead, and then you have Luca is more of like the backbone, and then Maddie is like the bridge in between them. Even though like Luca slash Wesley and Thomas kind of had a thing first, I probably should have wrote in that middle part somewhere along the way, like the middle part where so basically what happened was with that was Thomas and Luca had their little fling. Luca wasn't really attracted to Maddie yet because Maddie was bratty and annoying at the time. Luca was more attracted to Thomas because of Thomas's maturity and the fact that Luca is like 10 years older. So Luca's like 29 and Thomas is like 19, but Thomas acts like he's 29, 30-ish. So that was cute. And then both of them kind of just let it be a one-time thing. Like they didn't become anything out of it. So yeah, that's it about questions for The Secret Between Us. I know I didn't give anybody time. I kind of was like, I was up at 2 a.m. last night because I could not sleep. And I was just thinking, because I had just published 2 chapters for The Keeper's Promise, and sometimes when I write, I just can't sleep, and I was just up doing nothing. So I decided, I was like, you know what, maybe I should just post a YouTube video and just be like, wow, this is me explaining everything. Wow. From Freedom, from I Support Gays. I love your whole title. Was there times when you wanted to quit writing the book? Yes, there are a lot of times when I was very discouraged and I just wanted to quit writing in general. Like when The Secret Between Us only had like 1K, and I was like, wow, I'm busting my ass writing this whole ass book, and only like 1,000 people, not even people, just like only 1,000 reads, was just like 5, 6, I'm not gonna do that. Anyway, and I was just like, wow, is it even worth it? But then I had those people who were commenting and being like, oh my god, I love this. Or like, they would just say little things like, who's the dad? And I'd just be like, shit, I gotta finish it. And then as far as Freedom goes, wanting to quit that book, no, I never wanted to quit that book. I wrote, and I absolutely, yeah, if you read The Secret Between Us and you liked it, one of my earlier books that I wrote was Freedom, and you'd probably like that one too because it's about the same level of humor. I love them. I love them so much. And I'm going to answer why I love them so much in this next question, which is, how did you come to writing this book? Thank you, I Support Gays. He asked us about freedom. And this is a very, very special, like, where do I even start as to how I wrote this book? Because the book Freedom has a very, very special background story to it. I was like, after Project Caleb, I was like, I killed Ashley. And Ashley is named after my absolute best friend in the entire world at the time. Ashley. Like, her name is Ashley. Ashley is her in every single way, shape, and form, except for the fact that the Ashley in the book is a man. And I killed Ashley in the book. Not in real life. That'd be murder. That book, and then she died. He died. And I was like, shit. This is kind of sad because they had such a good dynamic going. And I looked at Ashley, and Ashley was just laying in my bed, and I was like, yo, should I bring him back from the dead? And, like, have Johnny and Ash, like, get married? She's like, you mean, like, have us get married? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, sure. Yeah, brought him back, which is the beginning of Freedom, which is like, he never died in the plane crash. He just kind of went missing for a hot minute. You don't need to read Project Caleb to understand Freedom. Don't worry about that book. That book will put you in a depression. So yeah, I wrote Freedom based off of my relationship with Ashley. Have actually happened. Like, Ashley and I, like, that's the only book I've ever written that's based off of a true story. Like, it's based off of Ashley and I. It's based off of, like, real people. And that's the only book I've written. And it has, like, real moments in it. Like, there's so many moments in there that have actually, like, happened between Ashley and I. As I was writing this book, she was reading it. So you could see, actually, comments from Ashley. I'm not going to tell you which user she is. But, yeah, you can see comments from her in Freedom reacting to it, and it's kind of funny. Back then, she was the only person who was reading my book, along with Lisa, who is a good friend of mine on Wattpad. Yeah, there were only 2 people reading my book back then, or 3. There was one other person, but they didn't come in until later. And it was last week. Last week, I married Ashley. Johnny and Ashley became Ryan Ashley, which, yeah, actually married in real life. So, like, that book kind of led to this, because she was like, holy, what if we were together and got married? That would be hilarious. And I was like, ha ha ha, yeah, that would be. And then, yeah. So that book has, like, a very special place in my heart. Especially because a lot of those moments are real. I actually do include text messages from us in there. There's a lot of Easter eggs in there too, and I just love that book. I love that book because it's so us. So us. Like in every way, shape, and form. That's my relationship. And a lot of people are just like, oh my god, why did Jonathan leave Ashley? But there's just the humor of it. Like, it really is. Like, you gotta laugh. If you're with a person and they don't make you laugh out loud to the point where you're crying, at least like once a day, well, that's a boring relationship. Like, Ashley is like, we are always just making each other laugh, and we're just living our best lives right now, so